Hello, guys, and welcome back to Sweet and Sour Soccer. And I'm not messing around today. If you want to hear positive things, if you only want to hear great things about Wolves and Fossen in, look how much they've done. Were you there in the League One days, or you don't remember how bad it was? If you want to hear great things about everything being perfect at Wolves, it's all roses. Leave now, because you're not going to get it on this video. I don't even care if you don't subscribe. I don't care if you don't like. I don't care if you don't share the video. I just want to have a rant because I've had enough. I really have had enough of what is going on at Wolves at this point in time, because something's got to change. And do you know what has to change? And we'll come on to them a bit later. Fossen. And there's your second disclaimer. If you are a Fossen fan, you may as well leave, because you're probably not going to like what you hear. 5 seasons in the Premier League. This is our 5th season, and we're bringing on Kem Campbell, Hodge, Hwang Hee-chan. 5 seasons. It's an absolute joke. We've just been absolutely battered by Chelsea 3-0. And you can say, oh, it's Chelsea. Well, last season when we went there, we were 2-0 down in the 70th minute, and I think, or the 72nd minute, and we draw the game 2-2. I think Connor Cody actually got a goal that day. So you can say, oh, it's Chelsea, it's Chelsea. Chelsea went into this game with a neutral goal difference. They've conceded 10 goals this season. They lose to Southampton, who somehow we beat and kept a clean sheet. You've got things are bad, and I'm just going to say it. We are down. We are going down this season, because all season I've been sitting there thinking, are there 3 worse teams than Wolves? Who? Forest. Yeah, you could say so. I think Forest will be in trouble. Are Leicester going to go down, who have been in the relegation zone all season? No, of course Leicester are not going to go down. They've got too much quality. And you can say that about Wolves, maybe, but we'll come on to that very shortly. I mean, look at Bournemouth. They were 1-0 down to Leicester. Everyone's saying, oh, Bournemouth are going down. Bournemouth are definitely going down. They've lost like 1 game in 6 or 5 now. They've just beat Leicester. I mean, Fulham, they're another one. Fulham are nailed on to go down. Are they? Are they? I don't. It's embarrassing what is happening right now. And we've got Forest next week. My word. We've got Nottingham Forest next week. Imagine they beat us. Wow. Oh my God. Guys, let me explain why I think we're in trouble. Instead of just ranting, let me actually try and provide some nuance to this video, because the reason I think we're down is because of goals. That by hook or by crook, I do not think we are going to score enough goals this season. I don't see where they come from. I don't see how we put the ball in the back of the net. We scored 3 goals in 9 games. We scored 3 goals in 9 games. We're averaging 0.3 goals per game. But somehow, some way, we lead the league in shots from outside the box. And I think I heard the commentator earlier say that we do it most seasons in the Premier League. Damning. It's damning. I've done some research. Rather than just coming on here and spouting nonsense and people saying he's just being reactionary, he's being an armchair fan and after the fact fan, you know, one of these people that reacts negatively to a bad result and positively to a good result. That's not what this is. It really, really isn't. I've got some stats. In the last 5 seasons, I wanted to check which club went down 18th, so effectively the last team to go down, if you will. Which team finished 18th in the last 5 Premier League seasons? And how many goals did they actually score? Well, last season, Burnley went down with 34. Now, bearing in mind, before I give these out, we are 9 games deep. We've scored 3 goals. So there are 29 Premier League games left. We need to average a goal a game from now. We have to average a goal a game from now to reach 32. Just bear that in mind while I'm giving you these figures. If Wolves score in every game once for the rest of the season, we finish on 32 Premier League goals. Burnley last season went down with 34. The season before that, 2020-21, Fulham actually went down with 27. And in fairness, they were like 6-7 points from safety. I think maybe 8 actually. However, in 19th that season, West Brom went down scoring 35. 35. The season before that, 2019-2020, Bournemouth went down 18th, having scored 40 goals. Now, granted, they conceded like 300 that season. They were very, very bad. But they scored 40 goals that season and went down 18th. The season before that, Cardiff, guess how many they scored? 34. 34. Keep in mind, we have to score an average a goal per game for the rest of the season to get to 32. And the season before that, 2017-18, Swansea finished 18th, having scored 28. The lowest there was 27, and Fulham finished adrift by 7-8 points. It might even have been 9. I don't really care. But the worst was 27. Bournemouth went down 3 years ago, having scored 40. Now, we're not going to concede anywhere near as many goals as they did that season, but are we going to have the defence this season that we've had in previous seasons? I don't think so. West Brom went down with 35 and they didn't even finish 18th. They finished 19th. Cardiff, 34. It's not good enough. It's really not good enough. We've got to get a striker in January because this is brilliant. Guess what, guys? We've loaned out our young startlet. A lot of people don't like him. I actually really do like Fabio. I've said it publicly on this channel. Again, I'm not just being reactionary because he's now tearing it up for Anderlecht. Yeah, you can say it's a poor league, but he's only 19, so 20. So, you know, context, it balances itself out. But I'm not just being reactionary. Go back a year and a half on this channel. Me and Scott both said we really do like Fabio and he will come good. And guess what? He's not playing for us. He scored more goals by, I think, the 5th game of the season than we scored the entire season as a squad. A squad. Not only do we not have one player that has scored 5 goals, not only do we not have an 11 that scored 5 goals, we don't have a squad that has scored 5 goals. 4 goals. It's embarrassing. We know that this is a World Cup year. We all know that. However, when the World Cup finishes, we still do play Premier League games before the January transfer window opens. People think the World Cup ends and then we go into January. No, we don't. We play I think it's 2 more league games after the World Cup before January. So I actually wanted to find out how many games Wolves will play before we can potentially, hopefully, pray to God, hope we get a striker in January. And do you know how many we play? 17. 17! I thought it was like 13 or 14. We play almost half a season before January. And guess who we've still got to play? We've still got to play United. We've still got to play Arsenal. We've got to play Brighton. We play Brentford. We've got to play Leicester, who we don't have a good record against. And we've still got that rearranged fixture against Liverpool. Obviously, that was meant to happen a couple of weeks ago, but with what happened with the Queen, it got postponed. There's a good chance that might happen before the World Cup or before January. God, we have to hope that fixture will happen next year, because if it happens this year, my word. So as a worst case scenario, we've got to play 17 games before January. If we're lucky, it's only 16. United, Arsenal, Brighton, Brentford. Let's throw in Liverpool, Leicester. How many points are we getting there? They're the games I thought were difficult. I only wrote those ones down. We've still got to play Palace. I don't have a good record against Palace. It's all right. It's not too bad. I remember, I think Ryan Ait-Nouri scored the winner there a couple of years ago at Selhurst Park, if I'm not mistaken. I think we won 1-0, or I think Adama as well maybe got a goal in another fixture. But we don't have a great record against Palace. Palace could easily do us. They could quite easily do us. We've got Forest coming up in our next game. If we lose to Forest, for me, that is I think we're done. And it really pains me that this is our 5th season in the league. I think we've rode our luck too much. And you might sit there and think, well, that's a really odd comment to say. We rode our luck. We've been finishing seventh and playing in Europe. We got to an FA Cup semi-final. We finished seventh again. The only reason we didn't get Europe again was because Arsenal won the FA Cup and it knocked us out of it. But I think we've rode our luck. And a big reason as to why I think we've rode our luck is Fossen. And I'm not being reactionary. Again, you can ask close friends of mine. If you go back and watch videos on this channel from a year and a half ago, two seasons ago, technically, I was Fossen out. I was Fossen out 2 years ago, and everyone thought I was mad. Everyone thought, oh, he just wants to be a fan that wants to play in the Champions League every season. No, because guess what? I had a season ticket when we went down from the Premier League to the Championship, and I had a season ticket when we went from the Championship to League One. The only reason I don't have one now is because I don't live in England. But I was there when we went down to League One. I stayed and I watched. So obviously, I'm not one of those new fans that thinks that we should be doing much better than we are. But I knew that this day was coming. I just knew it. Fossen are very good at masking what a lot of people is unbelievable management and ownership from Fossen. It's just not good enough. It's not good enough. Every single summer, doing no business until the last week or two. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. Look at the players that we brought in this summer. Nunes, Hollins, Sasha, Guedes. Were they all done in August? If I'm not mistaken, please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I mean, we're quite easy to ship players out. I mean, my God, I think Fabio Silva was gone a week or two into the summer. But most of the players that we get in, they come in with a week to go or 2 weeks to go. If we sign players in June and July, it's madness to us. We can't believe it. We just can't believe it. And what do? We bring in a player from Stuttgart that's got a criminal record of injuries. It's actually criminal. If he walks into the police station and says, "This is my injury record," they'll go, "We've got to lock you away, son. You're a menace. You can't be on the streets." I just don't understand. We let our striker go out in January. We've only got Raul, who's done nothing for 2 years. Do Fossen not know that? Does Scott Sellers not know this? What is the board doing? And then we bring in a striker in Costa, who I'm not going to blame at all. If he scores 3 goals this season, I really wouldn't blame him because the guy's 34. He can't get a game in South America. I don't think he started a game since January in professional football up until today. Well, you can't blame him. I just don't know what's happening. Was it all Large's fault? Well, look what he did for us last season with a very poor to average squad, you would say. I mean, he really overachieved last season, Bruno. And I really don't think he got the players that he wanted this summer because it was all panic boys. You can't tell me that they're Bruno's players if they're just panic boys. Buying players in the last 3-4 weeks of the summer, it's just not good enough. We come on to the players. Podence, he's done. Podence is finished. He thinks he's Hazard. He thinks he's Aguero. I don't know. Like all these little flicks today and all season. These little flicks in the final third, bro, you are not Neymar. What are you doing? Why are you flicking the ball between your legs in the middle of the pitch in our final third after Chelsea have attacked us for the last 15, 20 minutes non-stop? It's just not good enough. Guedes, I don't want to get on his back because he's a new signing and Wolves are in a really bad place right now. But I think they've done us with him. 30, 35 million. I've watched enough football in my life. I'm 29 years of age. And I like to think that if I can watch a player, even if it's only a sample size of 9 or 10 games, and go, "Ooh, do you know what? Ooh, I think we've been had there." Because I don't see it. And I hope he proves me wrong. I hope he scores 10 goals this season. And I hope he gets 5, 6 assists. And you might say, "Oh, you're expecting too much." Am I? Am I expecting too much, or is it just because our expectations are so low now? If I'm buying one of the higher rated players from Spain, if I'm spending £35 million on a wing forward, can play down the middle, apparently, I'm expecting 10, 15 goal involvement. I don't think that's too much to ask. In a Wolves team that has done pretty well in the last few years, can you not get 7, 8 goals? Can you not get 6, 7, 8 assists? I don't think I'm expecting too much. Adama today, he did all right. He had a few good runs, but I mean, we know what Adama is. He's not going to get. He's not going to track back and help with the defending. He's not going to get goals. He's not going to get assists. He'll get a few opposition players booked, fair enough. But other than that, he's not really going to do a lot. Neto's injured for the next 2 or 3 months. Sasha's gone for the season. Jimenez may never score another Premier League goal again. Neves is playing centre back. I mean, people keep telling me, yo, Collins is the man. Collins will sort it. And do you know what? When Collins played next to Kilman, he looked pretty good. But who did we play? Leeds, who have really fell off the ball. Fulham were unlucky not to get a win at the Molineux. I actually had the opportunity to go to that game. We lost 1-0. So we drew 0-0. We should have lost 1-0. Sarr saves a penalty. Sarr's another one. He looks absolutely ropey this season. That first goal today, I don't know what he was doing. No communication. Let's speak on communication and leadership. Whose idea was it to let Cody go? Whose idea was it to let Cody go? I understand if you don't think he can play in a back four, which, by the way, looks like he can at Everton. Keep him. I know he doesn't want to sit on the bench, and he openly said that. But sometimes you just got to say, do you know what? We probably need you. We probably do need you, mate. It's just not good enough. It's really not good enough, and I think we're going down. I think we're going down. This reliance on Mendes. It was cute at first when we were getting Neves, when we were getting Patricio, when we were getting Johnny, when we were getting Matinho. It was Jota. It was really cute when we got into the Prem for the first season. It was great. But now, everyone is Portuguese. Everyone. It's just, you can tell if Wolves are, when you see a rumour involving Wolves, you know if it's crud or actually has credence just by the nationality. How many clubs in the world can say that? That you can look at the player's nationality and actually know at that point whether we're probably not going to sign him. He's not Portuguese. Where's he from? He's English. Nah, we ain't signing him. 19-year-old from the Portuguese third division. We'll have him. We'll take him. Guys, I don't see how we score 30 goals this season. 30 goals, I mean, in total, not 30 more. I don't see how we get to 30 goals this season. I really don't. And I fear for us because I think we are going to concede more goals this season than we have done in previous seasons. Let's go through the players now, and I'll even write it down while I'm doing it with you because this video's, I mean, I've done some research, but this is off the cuff. Costa, I mean, should we give him 5? Let's give him 6. I think if Costa gets 6 goals this season, we'd look at that and go, that's pretty good, because I think that's been our highest tally for the last 2 seasons. Jimenez last season and Neto the season before, I think got 6 in the league before his injury. So let's give Costa 6. Podence. He's already on 2, and both goals were very lucky, pretty much. Should we give him 5? And that'd be a good season. Neto, God, let's say 3 after his injury. Let's see if he can get 2 or 3 goals. We'll give him 3. Guedes, God, how many goals can Guedes get this season? 4. Should we give him 4? Bearing in mind with 9 games in, he hasn't got 1. Hasn't looked close to getting 1. We'll say 4. Neves has got 1 already, that wonder goal against Newcastle. Should we give him 3? Because I think he might get a penalty and he might score another wonder goal. We'll give Neves 3 because he's never been a 5, 6, 7 goal a season striker, so can't really midfielder. So you can't really say now, oh yeah, he's probably going to get 8 or 9. It's just not going to happen. Neves, Nunes had that header today, a few good runs. Should we give Nunes 2? Give Nunes 2. João, I mean, he normally scores 1 goal a season, doesn't he? We'll give João 1. I'm not going to give Adama 1. Can't remember his last goal. Jimenez, do you reckon he can come off the bench when he's back from injury and get a goal? We'll give Neves 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've listed 8 players. Costa, Podence, Neto, Guedes, Neves, Nunes, João, Jimenez. 6, 11, 14, 18, 23, 26 goals there. 26 goals on top of what we've already got. So 29 in total. And I think I've been generous with a few there. Maybe throw one more in. Maybe Kilman gets a header at some point off a corner. Semedo. I don't think he's ever scored for Wolves in the Prem. I think Semedo's got one League Cup goal for us. Johnny, I think he scored once for Wolves in the league. So yeah, I've just done it there with you live. We might get 28, 29 goals this season, but I've been generous with a few of them. I think we're done, guys. I really do think we're down this season. If you've made it this far, fair enough. One of the big reasons why I did this video, I had to vent. I didn't want to do any Wolves content, as much Wolves content this summer, because we are a general fan channel. But I'm a Wolves fan, and I'm human at the end of the day. And I had to rant. I had to vent. If you think this is a really bad video, I do apologise. It was just off the cuff. I jumped onto my laptop after the game. I've tried to get as many stats as I can for you to try and give you some context. Sorry, but I can't justify five five seasons of Premier League money, Premier League exposure, and our four players to come on off the bench only 9 games into a season is Joseph Hodge, Kem Campbell, Hwang Hee-chan, and Ryan Ait-Nouri to change a game. Bearing in mind that Hodge was a half-time substitute. So effectively what we're saying there is after 5 seasons in the Premier League, at this present point in time, the 8th of October 2022, after 5 seasons in the Prem, the best hope that Wolves have got to change a Premier League game is Hodge. If after me saying that comment, you're still not worried, I'd love to be drinking what you're drinking, because I'm scared, guys. I think we're done. I'm saying it now officially. I think we are getting relegated this season. And I hope at the end of the season, you can all clip this. And if we finish 9th or 10th or even 13th and we finish 10 points safe, post it on Twitter, post it everywhere and say, look at this clown. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But I just want to put it on record. I think we're down. But by God, I really do hope I'm wrong. If you made it this far, like the video, subscribe if you're new here. But yeah, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Take care.